Khabib Nurmagomedov, undefeated, 28-0, the best MMA grappler we've ever seen. But he's already much more than that. 2 title defenses and he's already an icon. Khabib Nurmagomedov has now reached the top of the game and he's able to inspire many people around the world with his fighting style and his personality. But the thing that seems to define him is the way he lived his life. The life that made him and that gave him his intriguing mental strength. He's a human with weaknesses like anyone else, but he has an edge over his competition so far, and his strong mind certainly contributes to that. Let's try to understand the origin of his special mental strength and how it affects his fighting career. Let's start with the grind. In many ways, Khabib has faced more adversity outside the cage than inside of it. The sacrifices started at a very young age in Dagestan, Russia. There's no doubt that he lived an extremely tough life from the beginning, mainly because of the constant extreme training he was subjected to. And according to Khabib and Javier Mendez, Khabib's coach, his training methods were not the lightest. Khabib Nurmagomedov trains different.
I am not training like other UFC fighters.
And this is heavily related to a massive part of his life, father plan.
I'm trained all my life with my father. I'm very happy about this, you know.
We'll get back to father plan later, but for now, let's continue to look at the grind. The main challenges Khabib's had to face in his fighting career were outside the cage incidents, title shots going away.
UFC tell me, hey, you wanna deserve title shot? You have to fight. You have to fight with some tough guy.
Long injury layoffs.
My problem is my number one enemy is injuries. I have ACL, MCL, back surgery, hand surgery, broke ribs.
Horrible weight cuts, changes of opponents. He suffered many setbacks and the road to the championship was a long one.
You know, like long time, you know, I come back, you know, I never give up. I'm training so hard. Long way, very long way, you know, like I'm trained all my life.
Khabib was pushed to the limit on numerous occasions in his life, and that made him strong mentally. Probably on another level compared to any UFC fighter, except maybe his biggest rival. When you push yourself, you improve, you get better. When you destroy barriers, you gain confidence.
Between every fight, I improve myself. This is what I'm talking about. And when I go to the cage today, I show how I improve my striking game.
All my life, you know, I improve working on my boxing, striking, kicking, everything. I want to show this.
But there's a dangerous side to this. Put yourself in Khabib's shoes for a second. When you enter the octagon, you're confronted with the fact that no matter what your opponent does, it will never be as hard. It will never be as tough as the life you lived. The challenge of a fight is nowhere near the challenges you had to face prior to that fight. How would you feel? Relaxed? Prepared? Khabib's hard life has shaped him in such a way that for him, the grind is routine. Fighting is easy. And wrestling is the equivalent of a push-up. And what do you do when you are a competitor and stuff's too easy for you? You challenge yourself. You get out of your comfort zone.
Inside the octagon, I control everything. I feel his power, I feel his speed, everything. And my mind think, hey, I want to stand with him.
The willingness to go beyond limits has built Khabib Nurmagomedov into the incredible fighter he is today. But his fighting record was built in a very different way, a more limited way. Father plan. Sometimes, inside the cage, Khabib's desire to push his own limits takes him outside of father plan's limits.
With my father, you know, like, come here, sign contract, last 6 years.
This everything because of my father. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much, father. Coach Javier, come here, brother.
You know, the biggest issue for me is I was always saying father's plan, and I just wanted him to stick to the wrestling.
You know, I can wrestle with him, I can stand with him, I can do everything, but only one thing push me. Coach Javier all the time tell me, father plan, rest with him, you know. But all my life, you know, I improve. I want to show this, but these guys don't let me, you know.
But I myself, I like the easier route, you know, and I don't want him standing with people when I know he's so much superior on the ground.
My team is not happy with.
Because he, you know, he went a little bit outside the game plan.
He talked about my jab, you know, like, what are you doing, you know? When I catch Quinta, to be honest, I think I can take him down anytime, but like striking is not game plan tonight. We have game plan, pressure, take him down, you know, work on ground, but.
He likes to prepare himself for the worst, even inside the cage. This is a fascinating concept. Khabib always wants to push himself because that's the whole basis of Father Plan. Hard training every day. And this is where we see Khabib's paradox.
I can take him down anytime, but
by applying Father's Plan in an extreme way, he actually stops following it occasionally. By seeking the harder route, even when he's in the middle of a title fight. That's probably the only miscalculation of Father Plan. Challenging yourself to the extreme is how you become a strong-minded individual, but if you challenge yourself inside the cage unnecessarily, taking the high-resistance route, you take risks that are not worth it. And in Khabib's case, staying on his feet is that risk. Without Javier Mendez and Father Plan, we would see Khabib strike way more often. And who knows what his record would be. Maybe 28-0, maybe not. Because let's be clear about this. Father's Plan in the octagon against the best fighters in the world is too easy for Khabib Nurmagomedov. He wants to stand up and try new things, and his team won't let him do it, because they know that he could one day pay the full price. Even a strong-minded individual like Khabib needs people to keep him on the right track. Khabib Nurmagomedov's mental strength is incredibly complex. What makes him strong, sometimes, makes him crack. He wants to do more. He wants to show more. Dominating, destroying, mauling doesn't bring him the satisfaction he wants. He wants to humble people.
my father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful.
But it's not always possible. And when he feels an injustice, his frustration can come out.
You know, this is not my best side. I know my father gonna smash me when I go home because I know he's gonna smash me. And
when Khabib chooses to live dangerously, his coaches and teammates don't like it. And he's got away with it so far. Regardless, Khabib Nurmagomedov has proved himself to be one of the most mentally strong individuals in MMA.
Khabib's faith and his strength is what makes him so great, you know, and nothing fazed him. And you know what? I said it then, I'll say it again. He's going to be the greatest ever.
if you want your dreams come true, you have to follow this. Even you have injury, surgery, like everything is come, you have to keep going, keep focus and take your dream. I think anybody can lose anytime, you know, nobody protect, you know, all greatest fighters lose, you know. But my plan is, when I go to the cage, I never think about, oh, maybe I'm gonna lose. No, I don't think about this. When I go to the cage, I think, oh, I have to catch somebody because I'm the eagle. Everything about mental.